It's crazy to think that we live in such desperate times that we get a sequel to a movie that came out in 1988. Yes, the juice is finally loose again. Now, the only way that this movie works is because of the genius of Tim Burton. I feel like this is him back in his groove. This is how Tim Burton got his groove back. You know, the fact that Michael Keaton returns. If it wasn't for those two factors, Tim Burton, Michael Keaton, there's no way that anybody would even be remotely interested in watching this movie. Now, look guys, 1988, I can't remember anybody that has a vivid memory of the original. You know, you had to be a certain age. I mean, I wasn't even born yet when this came out. So the only way that you can fully enjoy this movie, if I'm being honest, is if you go back and you watch the original. Otherwise, the whole thing is just insane. And that's what the movie is. The movie itself is insane. The original premise was crazy. This is even more crazier. It's outlandish. It's a fun, weird, dark horror fantasy movie in all its glory. Now, if I could tell you the quintessential Tim Burton movie, I would point to Beetlejuice. That is his signature style in all its glory. And this feels pretty similar to that. I mean, it's crazy for me to even say that, you know, because of the time frame since the last movie, you know. And it's another legacy sequel. It will fall into that category. But unlike other legacy sequels, this one actually, you know, stays true to the source material in terms of just keeping things simple, you know. And one thing I actually like about the movie as well is the runtime. You know, it doesn't overstay its welcome. It's short, sweet, signature style, and it's actually very funny. You know, comedy, brilliant. And Michael Keaton steals the show. Now, interesting fact is Michael Keaton, you know, previously stated that I want the exact same amount of screen time that I had in the original. It's the only way I'm coming back, you know, only way I'm coming back. So it's a movie that works very well for what it is. Looking at the plot is basically a continuation, you know, of that original story. It focuses on Lydia. Now, Lydia has this talk show that she's running. It's called Ghost House. She can't shake Beetlejuice. She can't get Beetlejuice out of her head. Now, her estranged daughter, Astrid, played by Jenna Ortega, enters the fray. And this is where things get crazy. Now, it's one of those movies where I can't really dive into the plot that much because it's all spoilers. It's better to just enjoy the story as it unfolds. That's just a simple layout of what happens. And then things really get interesting when we get to the underworld, you know, and that's where the movie actually shines. And there's a cliffhanger ending as well, which I don't know, you know, Beetlejuice. Tim Burton returning is massive for me, you know, having a legendary director like him return. You know, there was a point where he actually said that he felt like he was done with filmmaking. I mean, Dumbo felt like the final nail in the coffin. Dumbo was terrible. And the fact that you had to associate that movie with the name Tim Burton is insane. And I think Dumbo is partly why live action Disney movies, they don't work. The magic, it's so far removed from what the original movies are. And certain things, you shouldn't go there. But with that aside, you know, he is a director that I would always go to a Tim Burton movie. There's just something special about how his movies look aesthetically, the dark humor, the tone, and he just knows how to pull it off. Now, with that being said, I think it would actually be crazy if they could do the third movie, the third Batman movie. Imagine that, guys. Michael Keaton, Tim Burton doing Batman again, you know. Imagine if they do a Batman Beyond movie, Tim Burton style. I think that will be insane, but that's just me being hopeful as a fan, you know. And when it comes to the visual aspect, the movie looks incredible. It's crispy clean, and the use of practical effects is something that I love. I don't know, there's just something beautiful about going back to practical effects, you know. It was brilliant to see that in Alien Romulus, and the fact that we get to see that again here. So, in terms of bringing back old franchises, it works very well. The same like with Romulus, you know. It's one of those cases where you didn't know that you needed this movie. It also leaves a question mark as to, did we really need this movie? You know, I feel like that's one thing everybody's asking a lot nowadays when it comes to new movies that come out, is like, do we really need this? You know, it's like, I don't know, Hollywood, they don't listen to fans anymore. They're just doing their own thing. And sometimes it might be frustrating. But this is the one exception where there's a sequel to a movie that actually works, you know. And all in all, guys, it's a movie that works very well. I can't fault it. It is what it is, you know. Going in, if you've watched the original, you know what to expect. You'll absolutely love it. If you are a newcomer to this franchise, you might end up scratching your head a little. So the best advice I can give you is just go back, watch the original, and, you know, watch a few Tim Burton movies before you dive into this. And it might be a platform for you to start enjoying his type of movies, you know. For me, when it comes to rating, guys, I would definitely give Beetlejuice a 3 out of 5, you know. A solid 3 out of 5. It's right down the middle for me, you know. It is what it is. But on the downside, it's another question mark as to, did we need this movie, you know? I want something new, something fresh, something original, and I would love to see that. I would love to know what Tim does next, you know? So please let me know what you guys think about this one. Beetlejuice Beetlejuice. Interesting. Very interesting movie, you know? But I would say it's definitely for diehard fans. That's what I'm leaning towards. It's definitely for diehard fans. And if not, hopefully it does find a new audience. That's it for me, guys. Please let me know what you guys think about Beetlejuice Beetlejuice down below. And I will catch you on the next video.